For the longest time, when we talked about lighting up huge spaces, we're talking airports, seaports, massive stadiums, it was all about one thing: raw power. But that whole idea, it's being completely flipped on its head. We're in the middle of a massive shift that's changing everything we thought we knew about high-mast lighting.
And it all starts with this one simple question. What if just being the brightest isn't the goal anymore? What if chasing after more and more power has actually started to cause more problems than it solves? This one thought, right here, is forcing the entire industry to rethink how we handle our most important lighting projects.
And look, this isn't just a minor update or a small tweak. People are calling this the third great evolution in lighting. Seriously, it's like the jump from gas lamps to electric, or from those old bulbs to the high-intensity lamps we've used for years. We are stepping into a totally new era. This chart just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? The old way was all about raw power. Now, the new standard is all about precision control. We're moving away from just buying a light fixture and toward investing in a complete optical system. Even the materials are shifting, from that heavy old-school aluminum to new, advanced, lightweight materials. It's a complete 180 on what's actually important. I mean, think about it. We have plenty of high-powered lights out there. That problem's been solved. The real challenge, the thing that keeps project managers up at night, is control. How do you put all that light exactly where you need it, prove that it's there, and, this is the big one, make sure it stays there, perfectly stable for years and years? That's the real problem to solve. And when you don't have that control, well, that's when things get expensive. And I'm not talking about the price tag on the light itself. I'm talking about the massive project-killing risks that come from unpredictability. The real cost is in what can go wrong. So what does that actually look like on the ground? Well, you get complaints from the neighbors about glare and light spilling everywhere. The sheer weight of old fixtures puts a ton of stress on the masts. Over time, simple vibrations cause the lights to drift, totally messing up your design. And all of this leads to failed inspections, which means your crews are just sitting around, your timelines are shattered, and your budget just explodes. It turns into a maintenance nightmare. So, how do you fix all that? The answer isn't just a slightly better light. It's a whole new way of thinking. You have systems like the P7, which aren't designed as lights at all. They're designed as complete architectural solutions, built from the ground up to get rid of the very risks we've been talking about. And it really comes down to three big ideas. First, total optical control, using things like dual-path optics and built-in shields to put light exactly where you want it and nowhere else. Second, a huge leap in materials, using a magnesium alloy unibody so it's super strong but also incredibly light. And third, a much smarter design for handling heat, separating the power source to make the whole system way more reliable in the long run. Okay, let's just stop and think about this number for a second. 30%. Lighter. That might not sound like a huge deal, but when you're hanging dozens of these things way up on a 100-foot pole, that weight reduction is an absolute game changer. It means less strain on the structure, it's safer to install, and you might even save money on the mast itself. And this right here is the core of it all. It's not about trying to win some spec sheet war for the highest performance in a perfect lab setting. It's all about being predictable and reliable out in the real world, where these things actually have to work day in and day out for a decade or more. So all this fancy engineering is great, but what does it actually mean for you, for the client? Well, it means taking all those numbers on a spec sheet and turning them into certainty on the job site. It's about swapping guesswork for outcomes you can actually count on. And this kind of precision is absolutely critical in the toughest environments. We're talking sports stadiums that need perfect flicker-free light for TV broadcasts. We're talking about complicated highway interchanges where a little bit of glare could be a huge safety issue. Or think about giant airports and seaports that run 24/7. Reliability there is everything. At the end of the day, this is why someone chooses a system like this. You're not just buying light, you're buying peace of mind. You want to pass that inspection on the very first try, no expensive rework needed. You want a system that works exactly like it's supposed to on day 1 and on day 3000. So this new way of thinking about the technology, it also demands a new kind of relationship. When the stakes are this high, the old model of just being a supplier who ships you a box and then walks away, that just doesn't cut it anymore. The new role is a true partner. Someone who understands the whole system, who actually shares in the project risk with you, and who can guarantee, technically, that the system is going to do what it promised. It's a huge shift from just a transaction to a real collaboration. So if you take just one thing away today, let it be this.
The future of lighting isn't about that old brute force approach to just being brighter. It's about being smarter. It's about precision, reliability, and ultimately about being trustworthy. The best system is the one you can count on. And that really leads us with one final question to think about. In a world where control and reliability are the new gold standard, are the projects you're working on just designed for today? Or are they truly engineered for what's coming next?